Alrighty, let's see what goes on here. So we got some rhythm guitars. Let's just listen to the parts. There's quite a bit of stuff going on here. It's a good bit longer, but let's go to maybe here. Let's check it out. Alrighty, got a lot of stuff happening there. First things first, we got some rhythm guitars. So what I did here, I tracked normal left and right, but I also did a DI recording, and then I reamped. So what you're hearing, what you're seeing in red is a Angle Artist Edition, and what you're seeing in more of like a maroon color, I guess, slightly browner red, it's the 14 sigil. So I took my Angle on the left, and then the reamped 14 sigil on the right, and then I took my reamped let me make sure, then I took the second guitar Angle, pan that. How do I have that panned? Oh, it's also left, but slightly less left, and then the reamp to the right. So just the two guitars. I know it's a mess. That's a Angle and a 14 sigil. And then on the doublers, it's a little bit different in character, right? So it's important that you try to make this sound different. And the best way of doing that is to just change the cabinet. I don't use any real speakers. It's all speaker simulation. So the guitars that record, into the amp, into the cab, I got a capture X from 2 notes. And then when I reamp, sometimes I'll just use either I'll use a different cab simulation, or I'll use wall of sound from also from 2 notes. That looks like torpedo wall of sound. It looks like this. It's super easy to just like switch the cabs out, switch the mics out, because when you're stacking layers of guitar, you really want it to sound different. Otherwise, there's no point at all. So that's a rhythm guitar. Didn't really do a terrible amount of, just took out a little bit here and there. Haven't really done all that much to them. As usual, I'm sidechaining a lot, but not so much on this part. But that's more like when the lead stuff comes in and need to get the rhythm guitars out of the way. Instead of automating like a mad person, I just sidechain to let the plugins do the work for me. Here's a clean guitar. It sounds really nice. I think I just recorded. Yeah, so I just recorded the same part in octaves, routed them to a bus, and I gave that bus a little bit of my ambiance. And that is really just a reverb and a delay, and then I squash it a bit with a compressor. Together it sounds like this. Hey, what's the bass doing? My favorite bass amp in the whole world, the Universal Audio Ampeg. Love it. And that's just the bass going straight in, by the way. And here's a really good one for bass. What's up, positive grid? It's just a simple distortion pedal, but it works really well on bass, so I tend to use it a lot. As usual, I just have a bass mono, and then I blend distortion into taste. And also, bass is moving around a little bit more. The guitar, it's just triplets, right? So the bass is kind of playing a little bit of a melody here. Got a little melody. And mind you, all of these guitars were recorded on the exact same guitar. I just changed the amps around and stuff. Oh, that's wrong. This is the one. Triplet melody. And I think this is my also focus on hot rodded JCM 800 Marshall. And I tried to make this sound dirty. Just get when you start layering sounds, make sure they have a little different color and character. Otherwise, if everything sounds the same, it's really hard to make anything heard, you know. So I don't try to make everything sound the best they can. I try to make it fit, you know. There we go. And the reason I gave the harmonies 2 different tracks is because I want to pan them out a little bit. Pan them out. Pan them out. Anyways, the first part, the melody is dead center. And rather than me automating, because it annoys me if I need to change anything later. If I have the processing power to just add more channels, I will often just add more channels. In Logic, it's really easy. All you need to do is click this guy, and it will give you a copy with everything on it, plugins and the whole 9. So there's also a bit of a Jupiter. Is this a Jupiter? No, it's Berlin Express. I add this sound to almost everything I do. It's the Logic Retro Synth under pads. There's one called Berlin Experience. And boy, does it find its way into a lot of shit I do. I think we just double down. And it's just to make that melody stand out a little bit. You can't really hear the keyboards in the mix, but they make the melody feel different. It just adds color. And this part was a pain in the ass to record. So we have more triplets, but I pick them now, and I also added a harmony here. And mind you, I write this as I record it. It's not like I had 2 weeks to practice it. So a lot of times there's some wonky fucking takes in there, but oh well, such is life. Cool. I think that's it for the triplets and the melody. Not too much studio trickery going on here. I just try to make it sound nice and fit together. So let's look at the next part.